welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair, that VidBlaster guy, coming to you with another episode. I was going to say exciting episode, but I say that every week, so it's another episode. It's going to be a fun show, though, I think. We're talking about VidBlaster, and if you were here last week, you remember last week on Wednesday we said, you know, there ought to be a new beta for VidBlaster coming out any day now. And lo and behold, that was Wednesday. And sometime late Wednesday night here in the U.S., a new beta arrived, version 3.34. And we're going to get to that in just a minute. But if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. We're so glad you're here. This is that VidBlaster guy, that crazy show where we talk about this really neat software called VidBlaster that does live video production. It's so good that one guy with one PC can do one awesome broadcast. Indeed, it's a lot of fun, too. You can get VidBlaster, you can get your very own copy of VidBlaster by going to the VidBlaster forum right up here. It's forum.vidblaster.com, and go to the download section and download. You can get the latest beta version, the one that we're using today, version 3.34, and use that and test it out. It's equivalent of the studio version, which is, I think, the second to the highest version. And so if you're thinking about getting one of the lower versions, obviously you would want to make sure that the features you need are in the lower version too, and you can find that out at vidblaster.com. In the product section, I think there's a comparison chart. Anyway, it's been an interesting day. Did some testing this morning with my buddy Jim Moline and Amnon Nissan, and they're in the Carolinas here in the U.S., and we were testing how to use multiple instances of WebRTC so that when you have multiple guests on a talk show and one of them drops off or calls in, you don't have to reconfigure your windows, your screen captures every time. And unfortunately, I was having some internet issues and wasn't able to complete the test with those guys, so we'll have to get a report on that and bring it back to you. Full disclosure, I need to get this out of the way early on. I am an authorized VidBlaster reseller. That means if you want to own a license to VidBlaster, you can buy it from me, and you'll get personal support from me. Heck, you'll even get my cell phone number. So go to thatvidblasterguide.com, and you can find out information there on that. You can also go to, what is it? There it is. Eastern Shore Broadcasting. Boy, you'd think I'd learn now that you can't put that text in black. That won't work. But if you have a question, shoot me an email, tom@thatvidblasterguy.com. So let's get into it. The version 3.34 is it's a significant release. I mean, it's incremental in the version 3s, but two really interesting things have happened in version 4 and version 3.4. And I am really excited about these because number one is VidBlaster has introduced a connection. Now, again, sorry about this. What we're about to say really only applies to version studio and broadcast, I think. I'll double check that. Boy, I better double check that right now, shouldn't I, before I give you guys a bunch of bad information. What I'm talking about, and I'm going into the VidBlaster website right now myself, into the download section, and to make sure that we've got that. Well, it looks like the Tally Light module, which is the one I was about to tell you about, is available in all versions. So that would be great. I'll confirm that. But the Tally Lights, they're really pretty cool. Let's see. It's tally-lights.com. And that's an outfit up in the not really the Northwest, but sort of the west, the northern part of the United States, kind of in the center, run by a guy named Ted Kazmierzak. And Ted is just, he's just all about tally lights. And Ted has figured out how to interface with all sorts of different equipment on tally lights. And so what you're seeing here is actually a wireless version of his tally light. Now Ted and I were talked, I guess it was Thursday of last week, right after the beta was released. Well, actually, it was Thursday, the day the beta was released. That's right. Or maybe it was Friday. And anyway, whatever. And I asked him if he would be willing to loan me a copy of the tally lights so that I could test them out and demonstrate them here on this show. And he said that he would consider that. And I also asked him if he would come on as a guest, and he said he'd consider that. So if you know Ted, give him a poke and tell him, come on the show. You know, we want to talk to you and see all about it. So we're looking forward to that on an upcoming show, that we will not only have the tally lights to demonstrate, but we'll have Ted here to talk about them. And the beauty of the tally lights is that they are on, there are lots of different ways they connect, but they seem to connect best. Let's see if I can pull it up on their website here and show you the example. Yeah, here we go. They seem to connect best when they just use a 3.5 millimeter, what would be a small electrical connection that would handle audio maybe. You can see plugged into the left side of this tally light is just a 3.5 connector, and that's how it gets its power, and that's how it gets its signal. Now the signal you see there, the 2, 4, 6 tally lights are the ones for the talent. And then let's see if we come down this page. Does it show you? No, it doesn't show you here. But on the back side of this same device is a single tally light that will show the camera operator. Now they also have the ability to do preview, so the lights will be green for preview, and then they'll be red for program. And it operates on a USB controller. So you plug it in USB, you string this little, essentially a little sound cable, little audio cable around. Now he also has got it where it will use XLR. So it's wired up for XLR. So if you've got existing XLR in your facility and you've got a free one, you can, to all the camera locations, then you can connect up, and you can do tally lights over XLR. Otherwise, that audio wire is pretty cheap. I mean, it's just out of reach right here, but I bought a big old spool of it for, $30, something like that. Excuse me. And made my own connectors when I was doing something, trying to get audio from a press box to cameras to talk. Now, what would be really cool, Ted, oh, wow, will blow your mind, if Ted would incorporate an intercom into his tally lights. So that, you're going tally lights to every camera. Why not go an intercom to every camera person? I'm going to tell Ted that. Ted, intercom. Boy, wouldn't that be a killer accessory to have tally lights and intercom? Yes, I think it would be a killer accessory. So Ted Kazmierzak will be coming on the show. He's the president and the creator of Tally Lights. And it's, again, it's tallylights.com. And they've got wireless systems. They've got TriCasters, adapters. I think they even sell the cabling if you need that. Yeah, there you go. So there's a converter from 3.5 stereo to XLR or BNC, and all the different piece parts that you need in order to be successful. That's tally-lights.com, tally-lights.com. And this is one guy that has just focused in only on Tally lights. And that's all he does is tally lights. There you go. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Okay, so now, I mean, the whole reason I told you that was not to promote his product, but to say that Tally Lights, tally-lights.com, their Tally Lights are now compatible with VidBlaster. There is a module in VidBlaster now. I'm not sure if it's a beta module or not. Let's check here and see. Yeah, it's a beta module right now called Tally Lights. And if I were to select that module right now, it would come up and it would say, no Tally Light driver detected. That is, I haven't plugged in the USB controller, so it's not communicating with anything yet. But it will shortly. And it's not like here in this studio with just me, I need to know what camera I'm on. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cameras. They're not all connected right now, but 10 cameras that could be available at any one point in time. But I'm the one switching them, so I know what's available. So, if you want to get the beta version of VidBlaster, go to forum.vidblaster.com and go to the download section. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. Now, the trial edition, that's what it's called, the trial edition of VidBlaster is equal to the studio edition. You can read what that means. But in a very short way to say, it's a fully functional of one of the higher levels of VidBlaster. The only thing that's different is it has a watermark on it. The audio doesn't have anything to come over the audio to say this is VidBlaster trial version or something like that. And the logo that it puts is kind of inobtrusive. It's sort of down here in the bottom left-hand corner. And it's on anything you record and anything you stream. But I've seen people that are doing all sorts of productions with it, and what they're doing is they're learning it. They're going in and saying, okay, is this the right thing for me? And they're testing it out and testing it under real-life circumstances, and I think that's great. I did have one guy a while back. He's been using the trial version for 2 years. At some point, Steve, you got to buy the software, dude. You just have to bite the bullet and buy the software. Come on, man. Get off your wallet. But I'm teasing him. Use the trial version as long as you want to. And update it as whenever you want to, too. Now, version 3, any of the incremental updates in version 3 are free. And when version 4 comes out, there'll probably be some notice about it. But if you have purchased version 3 within a year of the introduction of version 4, then you get a free upgrade to version 4. So you're covered, a little future-proof right there. But that 1-year thing does apply. The other new thing in VidBlaster version 3.34 that I like, and I think it's going to be really fun, is that the new, and this may not be new to you, but it certainly was new to me, a new CDN called Scale Engine, and that's ScaleEngine, Scale Engine, run together, ScaleEngine.com, is a content delivery network. And I was looking through their website today, and they do live streaming and transcoding and video on demand and recording and geo-blocking and pay-per-view and all sorts of cool stuff. Their pricing looks like it's equivalent with Decast, and probably a little more than some of the big guys. But if you're not doing trillions of gigs a month, you probably won't notice the difference. They're out of Canada, so hooray for our friends to the north, and they're worth a look. ScaleEngine.com. Now, they have been incorporated, or I should say the connection to them has been incorporated into the VidBlaster beta streamer. Now, to get to a beta function, and this includes tally lights too, to get to a beta function, you hold down the Shift key and the Control key, and then with your mouse you select the module command in the top left-hand corner. So it's Control Shift, select module, select add, and then all of a sudden all these extra modules appear in the module list, and they have out beside them parentheses beta. So you can go there and see the new beta stuff. And what do we have in beta? We'll take a look. Control Shift modules, add. We've got the recorder has got a beta version. Screen Capture's got a beta version. Streamer 3 has a beta version, and Tally Lights has a beta version. And oh, I was going to do a demo of the Screen Capture beta today. I forgot about that. We'll have to do that next week. So come back next week when we do the Stream Capture beta version. But Scale Engine is going to have the ability, I mean, you're going to have the ability to basically do a one-button connect. So once you get your login and your password in there and all the other information, then you just tell the streamer to go. Or if you shift back and forth, like I'll use multiple CDNs, you just tell it to go to Scale Engine, and all your configuration should be already present. So that's going to be a cool feature in VidBlaster. And if we can get our friends at Scale Engine to acknowledge that VidBlaster has got this cool one-click stream, that might help their sales as well. So ScaleEngine.com is worth a look. And then, of course, Tally-Lights.com, worth a look. And both of them connected to VidBlaster now. Tally Lights by a new module called the Tally Lights module, which I think is intended to be connected to any version of Tally Lights, but the guys at Tally-Lights just happened to be the first ones to pull the trigger. And then Scale Engine joins, let's see, Control Shift modules, add Streamer 3 beta, and in Streamer 3 beta we've got Decast, Solid, Tango, Sunday Screams, Ustream TV, and then Scale Engine will be on that list as well. So those are folks that you can stream to with minimal effort. That's going to be cool. Actually, I think, unless I'm doing it right, in this beta version 3.34, the actual link to the CDN Scale Engine is not present. So that may be a little bug. It may be that all the programming is there, but Mike just forgot to put a link on there. So we'll shoot him a note, make sure he knows that. Let's see, one other thing I wanted to share with you, and then we'll close out. In our second segment, we're going to be talking about some other products. But we're working on I would say I am working on a new project. Let's see if we can get the project to come out. There we go. This is a portable, and I guess you would call it a luggable PC. It's all one box. You can see it's there at my kitchen table, and it's got the monitor built into it. It has a fold-down keyboard with a little touchpad of some kind attached to it. It was manufactured in 2001 by Pinnacle Systems under the brand name Stream Genie, and it had a dual processor setup. It was really pretty cool. I have since disassembled it, and this is the motherboard. Well, the motherboard's green, so maybe I shouldn't use a chroma key. The motherboard is an extended ATX motherboard with a little carve out here for something that was built into the case. But it uses these dual Pentium 3 processors. In its day, it was probably a screamer. Today, it just would plod along. I think it's got maybe a megabyte of RAM. And then it had all sorts of other cool connectors. But this is going to be recycled. And it came out of this case right here. In addition, we got all of this stuff out of there too. We got disk drives and hard drives and floppy drives. Even had a 3.5-inch floppy. Boy, I haven't seen one of those in forever. So we've gutted the case, and we've got a clean slate to start with. And so we're basically going to build back, probably using a lot of parts that I just have here in the studio, an i7 that will be capable of doing a broadcast by today's standards. So this is what I bought off of eBay last week for $100, and I'm really excited about getting into another build. I think it's going to be a good system for, obviously, for anything that would be done remotely, because I'm not sure yet. I think I'm probably going to put an Intensity Pro card in it. I'm toying with either an Osprey 460E, which would be 4 ports of standard definition, or maybe, if I can find because I've got one of those on the shelf, or if I can find $1,000, I'll get a Blackmagic Decklink Quad, so it'll be 4 ports of high definition video. I'm going to build it with at least one solid state hard drive, probably a couple of fast terabyte platter hard drives, 8 or 16 gigs of RAM, and I'll probably put a video card in it, something that can run that little VGA monitor, as well as some added monitors. The key, I think, is going to be the connections. The monitor, let's see if it shows it here in this picture right here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. I wish there was a blow-up feature on this still store. The wiring, you can see at the left-hand side of the case, is 2 different types. One of it is the connections that go to the motherboard to indicate a hard drive light, and to indicate on, and to go to the switch and the reset button. But also one of those is a power connector, and that old 4-pin power connector, and that goes to the monitor for power. And then there is on the keyboard, let's go back and see if it shows it on the keyboard. On the keyboard now, you really can't see it in that picture, but you can almost make out a coiled keyboard between the monitor and the top of the keyboard. And that coiled keyboard, or that coiled cord, actually contains both the keyboard and the mouse. And on the motherboard, let's see if I've got, does it show it here? Yeah. Got to get rid of the chroma key, sorry. Here on the motherboard, it's got 2 PS2 ports, one for the mouse, one for the keyboard. But on this contraption, those both go into the same cable. So that's unique, and we'll have to see how that works. We may have to run a new cable for the keyboard. But that's going to be a lot of fun to do. Oop, let's go back here. There we are. So I'll keep you abreast of that project as it goes on. I've ordered a new motherboard, and I've ordered a video card for it because I didn't have a full-size ATX board on hand, and I didn't have a video card that I wanted to use in it. But I will use, existing processor, existing RAM, existing other stuff. So that's going to be fun project coming up. So that's about it for that VidBlaster guide today. Again, take a look, if you haven't already, at the forum at VidBlaster, and you can go there and download the latest beta. And you can go to our website, thatvidblasterguide.com, if you'd like to make a purchase. Or if you have a question, shoot me a note, tom@thatvidblasterguide.com. And what else? Have we covered all the bases here? I think we have. If I've forgotten something, shoot me a note and let me know, and we'll include it next week. So, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube and you want to get a notice of whenever we publish a new show. We publish the VidBlaster show on YouTube on Wednesdays. And so we can, and also if you go to our website, I don't have a URL for it here, but it's Eastern Shore. Well, I guess I do if you include this one right here, right there. EasternShoreBroadcasting.com. You can sign up for our mailing list, our email list, and we will send you notices of exclusive video content that has not yet been published for the general public, but you get it sort of a preview to it. So that's fun, and we'd love to have you come in and do that with us. So, on behalf of all the folks here, which just means me, thanks for tuning in. It was great having you today. For the folks in chat, I really appreciate that. Oh, I see Jerry popped in on chat. Good deal. And if you're watching us live, hang around. We're going to have a little post-show, pre-show before our next segment. So, with no further ado, we'll catch you next week. Thanks for being here.